Alright, so I just primed my face with this primer. This stuff is amazing, I swear by it. It's No Pore Problem by Touch in Sol. Just making sure I got the name right. So after I prime, I go in with my foundation. This is just which is actually a concealer, but this stuff works amazing as a foundation. I love it. It doesn't necessarily dry on your face, but it doesn't just sit there and like not dry. That sounds dumb, I know that. But after wearing this for a while, well, not even, basically after I put my setting powder on and contour and all that good stuff, it's basically like I'm not even wearing anything. Like, you can't feel it, and your skin looks amazing. Now I will say is that this shade looks a little bit too yellow for me as I apply it, but after I set it and contour and everything else, it actually is the best thing that I have ever found foundation wise. So I'm just gonna dampen my beauty blender with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set. I love this setting spray. It's very nice. Anastasia, that girl just works. Any product I have ever gotten from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I have absolutely loved. Now, you know, they are a little bit pricey, but you pay for what you get, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna blend this out, and then I'll let y'all watch it transform. I need a little bit more. I was a little skimpy on that go around. And being that it's concealer, it covers really well. I know some of y'all are probably like, oh my god, she's using concealer all over her face. But it works for me. It may not work for some people. Everyone has different skin types, you know. So you want to make sure it's going to work with your type of skin, whether you have dry or oily skin. You want to make sure. Now, I am going to take my time blending this because I am terrified of harsh lines. If it seems like I'm looking past the camera, it's because I am. There's a mirror behind setup so I can see what I'm doing. Now this is my first video on my YouTube channel, so I am very excited to post this one. Funny story, actually, this is my second attempt at doing this. The first time I did the exact same look and hated the video because I was sick. So I had the sniffles, I was blowing my nose, and it was awful. So this is try number 2 on this look. Yeah, so just trying to make sure this is blended really nicely, because like I said, your girl don't want any harsh lines. Now, I don't worry too much about around my eyes, like putting my foundation around my eyes, just because I cover it in concealer, so there's not really any point. It's just a waste to me. Now for concealer, actual concealer, I'm going to use Tarte Shape Tape. I used to be in love with this concealer, but here recently it's just not doing it for me. Now, a little bit of a backstory on why I use this is I learned everything I know makeup wise, like when I first started doing makeup, from Jaclyn Hill, my girl. She's probably hands down my favorite makeup artist that's doing tutorials on YouTube. So the reason I started using it was because she swore by it and she loved it. So I was like, okay, Jaclyn likes it, so I gotta try it. Well, I fell in love with it and it worked for me for a while, but like now it creases so bad under my eyes. No matter how much I set it or anything, it just creases, and I hate that. Don't nobody want no creasy concealer. So I'm just gonna blend this out really nice. Now you want to put your concealer everywhere that you want on your face to stand out. So they call these your highlight points. So it's basically anywhere that you're not going to put the dark contour powder is where you want to put your concealer. Now I used to conceal around my mouth because I get smile lines really bad. But you know, that's a good thing. That's a good wrinkle. I don't see why people get mad when they have smile lines. That just means that you smile a lot. But I used to do it around my smile lines, but I do not anymore because I feel like it makes me look like I have a mustache, and I don't know if it's just because I'm using the wrong shade of concealer or what, but it makes around my mouth like really light, and I just don't like the way it looks, so I don't do it anymore. Now, like I said, I don't hate this concealer, but it's not my favorite, and to be honest, I still haven't found my favorite. And if I find one, I will definitely be doing a review on some new concealers so I can find one. So next I'm just going to set my face. I'm going to use this Pro Studios palette. It's just a contour palette. I'm pretty sure I got this at Kohl's around like Christmas time. You know how when they have all their makeup specials and their makeup deals, whatever you want to call it. So to set my face, I am going to use this yellow powder. Now, the majority of the time they would call this a banana powder, but I'm pretty sure that name is like copyrighted, so I'm not going to call this a banana powder, but it is a yellow powder. Now, not everyone can use a yellow powder, just for the simple fact of your skin tone might not match it. Like Jeffree Star, even he has said he cannot use a yellow powder because his skin is too fair. Now, I don't have that problem because my skin is kind of like one of those skin tones where you can literally pull off anything, and I know that sounds cocky, but it's just the skin tone that I have. So I'm gonna bake as well. Now I'm just gonna use this really, really light powder here and just dab that under my eyes. Now, I don't really like to bake like a lot. I just kind of like to put it on there and let it sit for a minute. Just to really, really set that. But if I bake too much, it kind of makes my face feel like tight, really dry feeling, and I don't like that. I doubt anyone does. So I'm just gonna bake under my eyes, on top of my eyes, and then across my nose. And I do go all the way across my nose. I'm sure some people think that's weird, but I have to. I've got really bad blackheads on my nose, TMI, but so I do that. And then I also like to set my eyelids really well, just so that eyeshadow will glide nicely over. So while that's baking, while we're baking that cake, I'm gonna go ahead and contour. Now I use this palette for everything, basically, face powder wise. I used to use the Fit Me powder. I do still love that, but I just haven't really bought it because I've had this. So I'm gonna go in with this darker shade right here to contour, just get a little bit of that on there. Now, if you see an odd spot on my cheek, that's just because I have like an internal bruise for some reason. I think it might be my birthmark, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know it won't go away. So yes, I blended very well. I just have an internal spot. So I'm just gonna contour. Now, you'll see a lot of makeup artists do like a 3 when they contour, and I use that picture, I just don't use the form. I start with my cheek, then my jawline, then my forehead. So basically I just use whatever's left on my brush from doing my jawline to do my forehead. It just makes it a little bit easier, that way we ain't wasting no product or nothing. So I'm gonna get this nice and blended out. Now, I do have some chubby cheeks, so I do contour quite heavily. I used to not know how to contour. I remember like everyone went through that phase where they're like, you know, they can't do anything. Like my eyebrows, I used to literally, it looked like I filled them in with Sharpie. They were so blocky, I hated it. But you gotta start somewhere to learn. And that's what I tell everyone. And that's my goal with this channel, is to make sure that everyone knows that even I am still learning. So anything is possible. Now, I'm not amazing at makeup. I know I'm pretty decent, but I'm not, you know, perfect. So, if y'all have any questions for me, or if you want to suggest anything, just drop them in the comments and I'll definitely try it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and knock this powder off. You want to make sure that you blend where you just baked, otherwise you're gonna have this weird harsh line, and nobody wants that. Like, I cannot stress it enough. No one wants harsh lines at all. So I think it's funny how many faces you make while you do your makeup. Like, y'all will see once I start doing my eyebrows and my mascara, it's pretty funny. So I'm gonna go ahead and contour my nose. I did bake all the way across, so it looks like my nose is non-existent. So I'm just gonna go ahead and contour that a little bit. I don't really like to make my nose look like sharp, because to me I have a decently shaped nose, so I really don't have to. So now I want to go in with my highlighter. I have a highlighter brush, and y'all are probably gonna laugh at me for this, but I hate using a highlighter brush. It doesn't really work for me. Like, maybe a fan brush, maybe I need to get one of those and try. So this is Pretty Vulgar. I got this in my BoxyCharm. It's so pretty. Like, I wish that would focus, but I'll just give you all a little swatch on my arm of that. It's so pretty. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this on my face. Look at that. Shine bright like a diamond. Ooh, I love it. I actually really, I'm not very tan, but I'm not fair enough really to use like a white highlighter. Now I'm just gonna drag this all the way from the tip of my cheekbone all the way up to my brow bone, and then I'm gonna highlight underneath my brows. Y'all probably think I'm gross for using my fingers, but I don't really care, I'm sorry. And then I'm just gonna go and take this powder brush, clean it off a little bit, and blend it out, make sure there's no harsh lines. Let's play a drinking game for every time that I say harsh lines. So yeah, just get that all nice and blended out. Now I'm just gonna take whatever's left on my finger and highlight my nose a little bit, and then my Cupid's bow. Beautiful. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the eyeshadow. Like I said, this is my second attempt at doing this, so I've already used this palette. I do like this palette. It is not the best, but it definitely is buildable. So like your first swoop is gonna be pretty light. You're definitely gonna have to build it, which I'm not mad at that, because I do that anyway. Even with a nice palette, like I have a Jeffree Star palette that is so pigmented, like I don't even have to, you know, keep building it, but I still do. I just take a little bit and then apply it and then build it. So to start here, I'm just gonna take this fluffy blending brush, and this is just an e.l.f. brush, so it doesn't really have any number. It's just an e.l.f. blending brush, and then I'm gonna dip into this light pink right here, and then I'm just gonna apply that pretty much as my base. So I'll start in my crease and work my way out. Like I said, this is a very not that it's not pigmented, but it's buildable. So what that means is that it isn't pigmented the first time around. You have to kind of build it up to make it show up well. And like I said, I'm not mad at that. So basically what I'm doing is adding a, almost like, I guess you could look at it as like a halo for the next colors that I'm gonna put on my lid. Like I said, start in the crease, work your way out. It's another Jaclyn Hill tip. I'm sure every other makeup artist does that, but I may be wrong. So just like I said, Jaclyn Hill is my idol. I love her. Like I said, I learned everything I know from her. I think her and Jeffree Star would have to be the makeup artists that I watch the most. just in general. Like Jeffree, I love him because he is so honest. I love watching him review products because he gives you his honest opinion. You're gonna know, you know, you're gonna know exactly what he thinks. Like, he has no filter. And I plan on doing some reviews, and I hope I can be as honest as him. Another one that I really like is Nikki Tutorials. I love her. She's part of the gang. So next I'm just gonna go in with this magenta light color here. I'm just gonna dab, 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 get some of that on my brush, and once again start off in my crease and work my way out. Now what this does is gives you that like smoky effect. Now if I ever do a smoky eye on here, and to be honest I really haven't mastered the smoky eye yet, I'm not great at it, but I'm still trying. Like I said, makeup is a lot of trial and error. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out. I really do hope that every single one of my subscribers enjoys my channel, for sure. And like I said, if there's anything that y'all want to see me do, or if there's anything that y'all want to learn and I might know how to do it, just show me, or drop your channel and I'll subscribe to your channel and we can learn from each other. We can learn with each other. Now, I'm just gonna get this blended really good. So I'm pretty happy with the way this side looks. Now I just gotta get this side to match it. That's the fun part. Now I do really like this brush just because of the way it's angled, and it's kind of thin but not too thin to where it's nice for in your crease. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get some of that on here, knock off that excess so we don't have any fallout, and just pack that into this crease. Now you always want to start lightest to darkest. You never want to go darkest to lightest, just because it's easier to blend that way. It's easier to do a lot of things that way. So I'm just gonna take this, blend that edge, no harsh lines, take a shot, there you go. I'm telling you, y'all can make this into a drinking game. Pack that in there. See, and this is like purple, so you want it to look purple. Or like you got punched in the face, one or the other. Which is basically what you want it to look like, so I guess either way. So I'm just gonna pack this out a little bit more, just to give it that kind of like a halo effect. Blend them edges, and boom, there's one eye done. And for my lid, I'm gonna use a liquid eyeshadow. I used to hate liquid eyeshadow because it was so sticky feeling. It made my eyelids feel gross. I didn't like it until the eyeshadow community perfected the formula, or at least the ones that I use have, and I really like it now, because it's so pigmented. And especially if you want like a shimmer, if you're wanting like a shimmer, a liquid eyeshadow is literally the best thing on this planet, just because it keeps you from having to build. So just gonna pack a little bit more of this purple in here. Boom. Okay, so I am pretty much done with that. Now for the liquid eyeshadow. This stuff is gorgeous. Don't make fun of me. I'm pretty sure I got this at Five Below, but it came with a set, and it's called Smoke and Mirrors. Not sure if that focused, but it's so pretty. I love the way it goes on. I'm just gonna use a little mirror here. make sure. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and cover my whole lid in this, basically doing like a colored cut crease. See, and that's just one swoop. So after it dries, I'm gonna put a second coat on it, and it looks even better. It goes on so easily. Now, I guess you could use a brush instead of using the little tool that it comes with, or the little, whatever you want to call this. But I like to use this little thing just so I don't dirty up my brushes. Now, this is just the first coat, and I mean, already you can tell this stuff is pigmented, and the glitter in it is so nice. It almost gives your eyes like that Kim K wet look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit more of this on here. Make sure it's shouting at you. And I think we're done with eyeshadow. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, and I'm sure y'all are noticing that I haven't done my eyebrows yet. That's because, like I said, I hate it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my lipstick and eyebrows off camera, just because they're the two things that take me the longest. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm also gonna use some liquid eyeshadow in my inner corner, just to give it that little bit of an extra pop. This is a gold bronzy color that I'm putting in here, just to give you that little bit extra, because you know we gotta be extra. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows and lipstick off camera. I am using a Wet n Wild lipstick. I love this stuff. It's not too dry, but it's still matte. And then for my eyebrows, I'm just gonna use an elf pomade type dip gel. So I will be right back. So this is the finished look. I went ahead and threw on some mascara. Now usually this is a look that I would want to put on false eyelashes with, but I can't find them. So we're just gonna have to deal with my natural eyelashes. They're not amazing, but this is, to me, a super easy look, and my first time trying anything really crazy with color. So I'm very proud of it. Comment, like, and subscribe. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.